नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि द्वितीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि द्वितीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि द्वितीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि तृतीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि तृतीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि तृतीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि पाणातिपाता वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि अदिन्नदाना वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि कामेषु मिच्छाचारा वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि मुसावादा वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि सुरामेरयमज्जपमादठाणा वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समाधियामि सर्वपापस्य अकरणं कुशलस्य उपसम्पदा सचित्तपरियोदपणम् एतं बुद्धान् शासनम् साधु साधु साधु।
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good evening, everyone. My name is Venerable Vayaminda. I'm from Sibo, northern Shan state of Myanmar. Currently, I'm in Sri Lanka. I'm here would like to pay my humble and respectful thanks to all Mahathera and all the Sangha of India. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the organizers, Dr. Hashadip, Mrs. Rochana, Yom Samsuk, Yom Abinya, and all the organizing committee members for their kind cooperation, for their effort to make this GBC Global Buddhist Congregation 2020. This is a very noble, great Dhamma program. This is my also second time to join this Dhamma program, Global Buddhist Congregation. My first time was in November last year. My Dhamma friend, Venerable Dr. Devinda, and I myself were invited to participate that event physically. Thank you once again for all your kind invitation and have us this opportunity to share the Dhamma knowledge with the people of India and around the world. I am very pleased and grateful to be part of this Dhamma program. Today I'm going to share the Buddha teaching, the Dhamma knowledge with you all from here in Sri Lanka. Although we are physically cannot meet each other, our thoughts, our aim, our intention are the same, to share the teaching of the Buddha so that many people can benefit from the teaching of the Buddha, and then they can live happily, peacefully in their daily life. There have been many scholars and Dhamma teacher, meditation master share Dhamma knowledge with you all in different perspectives. Anyway, I'm very happy here to be part of the program. My topic today is a very profound from the Buddha teaching, which is very common, which is very familiar to all of Buddhist people, especially because mainly I would like to focus for the people, Buddhist people of India, because different people will have different background. Some have learned the Buddha teaching highly, deeply. Some may be at the matter of level, and some may be still learning from the beginning. So I'm not going to talk a very difficult one, but easy and familiar, especially for the beginners. This is compassion and wisdom. Compassion in Pali we call karuna. Wisdom in Pali panya. So the words of compassion and wisdom I'm going to share with you all today. They are also the words that to help the Buddha to become the Buddha. Because of his great compassion, because of his great wisdom, the Buddha practiced searching for the truth in order to teach people, to enlighten people, to be free from sufferings because of great compassion and wisdom. But before I share the words of compassion and wisdom, the words of Karuna and Panya, I wanted to share the words of the Dhamma first. Dhamma means the natural law. We all understand, we all know. Ehipasigo, the Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha, anyone can come and experience. Anyone can come and learn. Anyone can come and practice. The teaching of the Buddha, the Dhamma, is aiming for all human beings around the world. Since the Buddha time, there were many different kinds of religions, different perspectives, different beliefs. Those who came to the Buddha to ask a question and listening to his Dhamma, some were able to see the truth, to understand the Dhamma of the Buddha. So Dhamma can lead us from suffering to happiness. When we understand the Dhamma and we practice the Dhamma, we can go to the right way, we can go to the right path as we understand the Dhamma. If we don't understand the Dhamma because of the ignorance and our wrong view, the wrong view and ignorance lead us to suffering. So only the Dhamma can lead us to happiness and peace. That's why the Buddha says Dhamma is the best of among all sharings, among all the givings. Sappadanam, Dhammadanam jinati. Among all the sharings, among all the givings, the sharing of the Dhamma, the giving of the Dhamma is the best. Because the rest of the sharings can make you happy for temporary. It cannot last long. Later, it can disappear. But the Dhamma, the knowledge that you have learned, will be always with you wherever you are, wherever you go. Anyone can take away your belongings, your properties, your monies, your relatives, your cars, your houses, your companies, your hotels, all kinds of your belongings. They can be taken away by anyone. And they are not last long. Even ourselves, we don't know how long we are going to live. Short life or long life, we are not sure. So Dhamma can be always with us for the whole life, even here after next life. That's why Dhamma is the best of sharings among all the sharings. And the Buddha also says, Sapparasam Dhammarasam jinati. Among all the taste of kinds of food, sensual pleasures, through the six senses. We obtain through the six senses, sensory pleasures, luxury life, especially the food, the taste of the food that we like. The food that we like can make us happy for temporary, just to survive our body, but they are not last long. They can be disappear after 3-4 hours or after one day, and so on. But the taste of the Dhamma that you have gained, that you have learned, you can remind yourself and you can practice the Dhamma at any time. And you can get the taste of the Dhamma when you are in dangers, when you are in suffering, especially when you are in mental suffering, anger, hate, violence, craving, jealousy, envy, in all kinds of mental sufferings. If you are in those all kinds of sufferings, when you understand the Dhamma, when you know the Dhamma, you can use the Dhamma as a medicine to cure, to remove those all kinds of unwholesome mental states. And you can get the taste of the Dhamma, you can enjoy the taste of the Dhamma of happiness, peace, and successful in your daily life, in this life, and hereafter next life. By listening to the Dhamma, we can learn something new. We can learn something new that we have never learned before. And you can learn some knowledge. You can learn more knowledge that we have learned, that we have heard, but maybe not 100%. You only understand, you only know, you only have seen maybe 20%, 30%, or 50%, and so on, not 100%. And by listening to the Dhamma, if you hear the Dhamma again that you have learned, you have heard before, you can understand more information from what you have known. And we can clear our doubts, confusion. Sometimes we are confused. We don't understand. We are not clear. What does it mean? We read, we listen many times, but we are not clear. We still have doubts. We still have no confidence. What we have heard, what we have understood. So by listening to the Dhamma, you can clear your doubts. You can clear your unclear information. And then you can gain the right view, the right understanding. After you clear your wrong views, your doubts, you can gain the right view. The right view, samadhi, also a kind of panya. And then you can develop your saddha or trust in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, in the Sangha, and in your action. Our action means that the consequences of good and bad. So we can develop saddha by listening to the Dhamma. Now, I'm going to discuss about the words of wisdom and compassion. Wisdom and compassion. Wisdom means there are many different kinds of the meanings of wisdom, but here I wanted to say wisdom means understanding, the right view, understanding, the right understanding or the right view. When we have the right understanding, when we have the right view, we can understand the wrong understanding. Because of our wrong understanding, because of our wrong view, then we are in difficulties. We are doing which is unnecessary. We are doing the wrong things. When we have right understanding, when we have right view, we can refrain from doing bad things. We can refrain from doing unwholesome, in Pali we call akusala. Akusala, akusala dhamma, unwholesome mental states that lead you to suffering. Those unwholesome mental states can create sufferings. So we can avoid, we can refrain from those unwholesome mental states, and we can create wholesome mental state. We can practice good action, good speech, and good thought. Especially good action, good speech, and good thought. Actually, in Pali we call practice wholesome mental state such as purify. We try to practice sila. Sila is the purity of our body and the purity of our speech. So by doing the action of the beauty of our body and by speaking of the beauty of our speech and beauty of our mind, that means we are practicing kusala dhamma through our action, through our speech, through our thought, mainly trying to refrain from unwholesome action to our body, to our speech, and to our thoughts. And trying to practice, trying to create wholesome of our action, our speech, and our thoughts. They are also called sila. Sila, samadhi, and panya. Sila is the beauty of our body and the beauty of our speech. Samadhi is the beauty of our mind. And Panya is the wisdom. The wisdom. So Sila is to be good. Samadhi is to be happy. And wisdom is to be wise. If anyone wants to be good, want to be a good person, he or she can practice Sila to be a good person, to be good. Because by practicing Sila, he can do the action with the right way, politely, righteously, and he can speak pleasant words, sweet words that can make other people happy. It is very important, even when we speak, how to use the right words, how to speak in the right way, the way of our speaking. Sometimes, although our intention is good, we have the right intention for the benefit of other people. But the way we are talking, the way we are speaking is not the right way. We use harsh words, rude words. They can make other people unhappy. They can make other people angry. They can make other people disappointed because of their speaking. So the way of speaking, the art of speaking is very important. And Samadhi is to be happy. When we practice Sila, when our body and our speech are pure, means we have no remorse, we have no regret, because we have not done anything wrong. And we can live happily, peacefully. It will not disturb our mind. This is Samadhi, to be happy, and Panya to be wise. So, by understanding wisdom and compassion, one will be able to practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, which is the very profound and the three pillars teaching of the Buddha, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Although we all know, we all understand, but very difficult to practice. We have to remind ourselves, we have to remind other people, we have to remind the people around us very often to practice the Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. For example, in India, the people of in Aurangabad and any parts of India, as well as all the people around the world, if they want to be a good person, if they want to be happy, if they want to be wise, they can practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. When we practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, we can live harmoniously, we can live happily, peacefully, and we can live wisely. No any discrimination, no anger, no violence, no conflicts, because these three things are always in our mind. Sila is our mind, Samadhi is our mind, and Panya is in our mind. These three things are always in our mind to remind us what to do and what not to do. They are also called, for example, Sila, Varita Sila, and Jarita Sila. Varita Sila means to refrain, what I said earlier, what not to do. And Jarita Sila is to practice. to create, to develop, to cultivate. So what I want to say, we should bring down the Buddha teaching and share to many people. Now, the GBC, Global Buddhist Congregation, organizing this Dhamma program. The aim is to share the Buddha teaching so that the teaching of the Buddha can be with the heart of people, can be with the heart of people of India as well as around the world. We have to bring the Buddha teaching to teach people. As India is his hometown, his homeland, his teaching should be practiced by many people more than other countries. Buddhism started from India and spread to around the world, to many countries, Southeast Asia, in Europe. People are benefiting. People can get the benefit of practicing the Buddha teaching from different countries. So the people of India, the people of Aurangabad and any parts of people in India should practice the Buddha teaching so that they can get the benefit of the Buddha teaching. India is a country of diversity and unity. Diversity means India has hundreds of religions, different kinds of beliefs, different kinds of community and society. This is diversity, which is a very large population of India. But all those people, all those different kinds of religion, beliefs, and perspective, they are under the unity of the country of India. They are the unity under the government of India. In order to make people more and more united, especially the unity of mind, unification of the mind, to make them happy by practicing the teaching of the Buddha, to let them apply in their daily life, to let them practice the Buddha teaching in their daily life is very important, because Buddhism is the religion of equality. Equality means anyone can get, anyone can learn, anyone can practice. That's why until now, the people of India and Aurangabad and around the Aurangabad, people are still very respectful or grateful to the great leader of Buddhism in India, Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar is one who made Buddhism alive again in India. He followed the footsteps of the Buddha. He follows the footsteps of King Ashoka. This is very good, and all people still can follow his footsteps. That's why now the GBC, Global Buddhist Congregation, is doing their best, propagating the Buddha teaching, propagating Buddhism in India as much as they can. All the Sangha Mahathera of India and all senior monks or the Sangha together with the devotees work very hard to get the Buddha Sasana in India more and more widely, because Buddhism is equality. Equality. Dr. Ambedkar said, I like the religions that teaches liberty, equality, and fraternity. He said he led the religion that teaches equality. Equality to everyone, equality to all human beings, equality to all religions. He also said the cultivation of the mind should be the aim of human existence. This is how he followed the Buddha teaching, how he put this concept of the Buddha teaching, and how he made Buddhism to be alive again in India, especially in Aurangabad area. The cultivation of the mind should be the aim of human existence. This is how he followed the Buddha teaching. The Buddha teaches us a very common verses from Dhammapada. Sabba papasa akaranam, kusalasa upasambhata, saseta padiyotapanam. Sabba papasa akaranam, not to do bad, not to do the wrong things, as we said earlier, to refrain from doing bad things. Kusalasa upasambhata, to do good, to do that benefit for ourselves and for other people. Sacheta pariyotapanam, to cultivate, to beautify our mind. To beautify our mind. So if we understand this the Buddha teaching clearly, and then we have compassion, because of our compassion we have compassion for ourselves, we have compassion for other people. We won't do that can give us suffering. We won't do that can create suffering to our life and to other people. And then we will only do the good thing that can lead to happiness. So practicing compassion is a kind of practicing happiness. If anyone wants to be happy, wants to gain happiness, he or she can practice compassion. Because compassion is the desire to remove suffering. Compassion means the desire to remove suffering. So when there is compassion, there's no suffering. So when there is no suffering, there is happiness. So the absence of suffering is the presence of happiness. When there is no suffering, there is happiness. When the suffering is absence and happiness present. Happiness can be different kinds of happiness. We can gain, we can achieve, maybe temporary happiness or last long happiness. There are different kinds of happiness from the Buddha teaching he showed us. I would like to point out some of them. Material happiness and spiritual happiness. Material happiness, we can gain, we can achieve the happiness that what we have in our hands. If we have a car, we have a house, we have a phone, we have a television, whether it is cheap one or expensive one, if we think about that, if we appreciate that we have, for example, we have a car that's very cheap, but by thinking, by appreciating that we have, we can be happy. To be happy what we have in our hands. Don't go and be disappointed with that we don't have. Too much expectation can make you disappointed. We have 1,000, we cannot be happy, and we wish we have 5,000, 10,000. So If we have 1,000, we have to be happy with the 1,000. And happiness always with us. And by spending that 1,000, also a kind of happiness. By using our belongings, by using our car, our television, our telephone, our house, we can be happy. We can be happy. There are kinds of material happiness. In Pali, it is called Atisukha and Bokasukha. Bokasukha, spending, using the thing that we have in our hands. Atisukha, to be happy, to be appreciated that we have in our hands. But the best one is the happiness of blameless, spiritual happiness. Spiritual happiness means we have not done anything wrong. We all have done in good ways. Then we have no remorse, we have no worry. We are always peaceful. We are always happy because we have done nothing wrong in our life. So Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, they are very important. If we practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya correctly, then we can gain this spiritual happiness, blameless, anavaja, blameless. If we have done something wrong in our life, maybe last year, last week, last month, or yesterday, and so on, our mind is thinking and worry about that action that we have done. We cannot be happy. Not only this life, even the life of hereafter, the next life, that the shadow of bad action will follow him to the next life. So if we respect the Buddha, if we want to honor the Buddha, we have to practice the Buddha teaching, what he teaches us. The Buddha said, the one who sees the Dhamma sees me. One who sees the Dhamma sees the Buddha. If we want to see the Buddha, we can practice the Dhamma, trying to understand, trying to see the Dhamma clearly. Because Dhamma is his teaching. Although the Buddha is not with us, although the Buddha is gone, no more in the world, but his teaching is still alive. Yo Dhammam Pasati, Somam Pasati. One who sees the Dhamma sees me. That means if we want to honor the Buddha, if we respect the Buddha, we can practice the Buddha teaching. Although we see the Buddha physically, if we don't listen his teaching, if we don't listen to his teaching, if we don't practice his Dhamma, that means we don't respect the Buddha. We don't see the Buddha. So to see the Buddha, to respect the Buddha, to honor the Buddha is to follow his teaching, especially to purify our mind. Satseta Paliyodapana. And they are also very famous in the Dhammapada, Manopupangama Dhamma. The mind is the forerunner of everything. Means we think first, then we speak, then we act. Because of our thinking, because of our thought, then our action arises and our speech arises. If our mind is pure, clear, our action, our speech are also pure and clear. If our mind is agitated, impure, not clear, and our action and our speech will follow the wrong way, because action and speech always follow the mind. The Buddha compare with two wheels and a cart. The two wheels of a cart all the way follow the cow, all the way follow a horse. Wherever a cow go. In the same way, wherever the mind thinks, our action follows, our speech follows the mind. So very important to beautify our mind. By beautifying our mind, we can transform from our wrong perception, from the wrong view to the right perception. We can transform, or we can remove our anger, our hate, discrimination, craving, delusion, and so on. All those kinds of functions of the mind. We can transform them into medicine. Those craving, hate, discrimination, anger, and all those kinds of functions, we can transform by using our mind, beautify our mind, to can transform them into medicine. Kindness, generosity, compassion, tolerance, they become the medicine of our mind. Because the Buddha teaching is the Dhamma medicine. Dhammo Saddha, Dhamma or Saddha. Dhamma means the Buddha teaching, the Dhamma or Saddha means medicine. So if we know how to use the teaching of the Buddha and practice in our daily life, that means we use the Dhamma medicine, the medicine of the Buddha teaching, and can cure, can remove our suffering, our poison, with associated with our mind. We can remove them away, and we can live happily and peacefully without poison. That's why the Buddha said the mind is the foreigner. The mind leads everything. The mind leads everything. So before we speak, we have to think carefully. Before we act, we have to think carefully. Speaking without thinking is like shooting without aiming. If a hunter wants to shoot the animal, he must aim first. So without aiming, he cannot get to the point where he wants to shoot. To shoot the animal, to get the point, he must have aiming. Aim it properly, mindfully, and focus. In the same way, when we speak, we have to speak mindfully, think first, carefully before we speak, before we act. So mind is very important. Mind is very important. But usually, sometimes, even our mind, even our body is free from suffering. Even we can relax our body, we can rest our body. Our mind is still working very hard, thinking here and there, working off, doing things, thinking, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go there, I want to go here. Our mind is always wandering, but physically very stable. For example, if one is sitting in one place without moving, he sits very quietly, but maybe his mind is working very hard, become very exhausted, tired. He never rests his mind. So to make balance of our life, rest and relaxation of the body, of the mind. Rest and relaxation of the body and of the mind are very important to have a balanced life. Balancing your life is to rest and to relax. We are human beings. We are not human doing. But we spend too much time as a human doing rather than human beings. If we spend too much time as a human doing rather than human beings, then we become exhausted, tired, agitated, and all unnecessary will arise. So it's very important to purify our mind, to be mindful. Mind is the best friend of a person. Mind can also be the worst enemy of a person. So try not to let the mind be the worst enemy of a person, and trying to let the mind to be the best friend of a person. When the mind is peaceful and happy, then our body also peace and happy. Because the mind and the body are interdependent, interrelated each other, the mind and body, nama and rupa, physical and mental, physical happiness and mental happiness, physical suffering and mental suffering, they are interdependent. They are always related to each other. It is like engine and battery. They have each other. Battery have the engine to start. The engine have the battery to recharge. So the mind and the body are interrelated, interdependent. So I would like to encourage all of you, the member of Global Buddhist Congregation, to practice, to follow the Buddha teaching so that we can have the people to be free from suffering. We can see now the whole world are facing the problems of the suffering of COVID-19, coronavirus. Some are being facing, some are being testing, and some are being worried. Some are suffering physically, some are in suffering mentally, some are in suffering of both physically and mentally. So if we have wisdom and compassion, at least compassion for ourselves and for others, if we have compassion, if we have wisdom, we follow compassion and wisdom, then we try to follow which is beneficial for us. Now the whole world encourage people to wash hands, social distancing, and to wear masks. We just follow. By following this, we have wisdom, we have compassion for ourselves and for others. We protect ourselves, we protect others. By following the Buddha teaching, we also have other people, we also have ourselves. By following this physically, social distancing, washing hands, and wearing masks, we make ourselves to be safe. We make ourselves have more confidence not to get affected the coronavirus from any other. And we also protect ourselves not to affect other people. the whole world. This suffering is not only to the human beings, but economics, politics, community, society, and individuals. So physically, we can help them. Mentally, we can be happy because we feel safe. Other people also feel safe when we follow this news. And mentally, we can be happy and peaceful. And so applying Buddha teaching in your daily life. But usually, although we know the Buddha teaching, we are unmindful, and then we don't apply, we don't practice the Buddha teaching. It is like we know the switch of the light at the wall. We don't go and turn on the light. We just walk in the darkness and go here and there. We cannot see anything in our room without turn on the light, but we know where the switch is. In the same way, sometimes the teaching of the Buddha, we have learned, it is in our heart, in our mind, but we forget to practice because of ignorance, because of moha. So we have to use the wisdom to remove, to destroy moha delusion, and to make our life become bright. Like we should turn on the light in our room and we can see everything. By using the Buddha teaching, the wisdom, the light of wisdom of the Buddha, our mind can be bright. We can see clearly, understand good and bad. So I also want to share these two words, compassion and wisdom. Compassion represents kindness, generosity, tolerance in all noble emotional side. And wisdom stands for intellectual side. We can also say compassion is the qualities of the heart, and wisdom is the qualities of the mind. If we have two kinds of qualities, the qualities of the heart and the qualities of the mind, in our daily life, we can live happily and peacefully. Happily and peacefully. So please practice the Buddha teaching, learn, listen to Buddha teaching, and apply in your daily life. Use the light of wisdom and compassion to live happily and peacefully for yourself and for others, for environment, for all human beings around the world. Finally, I wish all of you to be free from physical and mental sufferings, especially I wish all of you to be free from the suffering of coronavirus. By following the Buddha teaching, I wish you to be happy physically and mentally. Sappa roga vinimodo, sappa sandhapa vasido, sappa vera matekando nebudo satu wambava, dukha patasa ne dukha, paya patasa ne paya, soka patasa ne soka, huntu sape pipanino, bhavatu sappa mangaram rakhantu sappa devada, Sabba Buddhanu Bhavena Satta Sutti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangaram Rakhantu Sabba Devada Sabba Dhammanu Bhavena Satta Sutti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangaram Rakhantu Sabba Devada Sabba Sankhanu Bhavena Satta Sutti Bhavantu Te. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from dangers. May you be free from sorrows by the power and the blessing of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. May all of you be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.